All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 2025 Cheverly Town Meeting. I hereby call the meeting to order. And for starting out, I will call the roll. The council member from Ward 1.
Present.
Council member from Ward 2.
Present.
Council member from Ward 3.
Present.
Council member from Ward 4.
Present.
Council member from Ward 5.
I don't see him.
I cannot see online. Okay. Not here yet. And council member from Ward 6.
She's online.
Present.
Present. Okay. Seeing 5 out of the 6 council members present, a quorum is on hand to conduct business, and the first item will be the Pledge of Allegiance. You can all. Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Item 3 is the approval of the agenda. Council, I am going to be doing a short statement at the beginning of the meeting after the approval of the agenda. I don't think we need to add that to the agenda per se. Are there any changes to the agenda? Council member LeGloahec.
I would like to add a item under item 10 for a second proclamation.
All right. This is for St. Ambrose 75th anniversary, and we will call that for right now item 10 Bravo.
Correct.
St.
Thank you.
Ambrose 75th anniversary recognition celebration. I would like to ask the council to remove item 7, the swearing in of the police officer, correct? Okay. So we will strike item 7. Are there any other changes to the agenda as it is drafted from council? Hearing none, is there a Mr. Galloway.
Mayor, if you can also remove the budget update. Budget update will be announced at the town work session.
Thank you. You did tell me that and I forgot. So we are striking number 11. Any final changes? All right, seeing the addition of 10B and the elimination of 7 and 11, is there a motion to approve the agenda with those changes?
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Wade, moved by Councilmember LeGloahec. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say no. Any abstentions? 5-0 unanimous. The agenda is approved. Okay, Council, thank you for your indulgence. Before we get to the consent agenda, I would like to read a brief statement concerning the events of Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. We understand that there may be questions in the community about the incident occurring on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, in which Police Chief David Morris was involved. Please understand that there are 3 independent yet separate investigations involving this matter, none of which fall within the scope of the town's authority, control, or responsibility. Number 1, the Independent Investigations Division, IID, of the Attorney General's Office investigates all police-involved incidents in Maryland that result in a person's death. Is the translator on? Okay, sorry to interrupt, but we will work diligently from this point forward to get the ASL interpreter online. Normally when I look down at the monitor, I can and I check the monitor to see if the interpreter is keeping up, and there's no one signing currently. All right, let me read point 1 again then. The Independent Investigation Division, IID, of the Attorney General's Office investigates all police-involved incidents in Maryland that result in a person's death or injuries likely to lead to death. All media inquiries must be directed to their office, and we can provide the contact information. The second investigation, the Prince George's County Police Department is responsible for investigating the crimes leading up to the incident involving the chief, including the first-degree assault that occurred in Cheverly, as well as a separate second-degree assault. And point 3, the third investigation involves an administrative investigation. This is a non-criminal inquiry to impartially determine if involved officers' conduct adhered to departmental policy, in this case the Cheverly departmental policy, as well as professional standards of conduct. To ensure impartiality and objectivity, this investigation is being conducted by an outside law enforcement agency independent of the town of Cheverly and of Prince George's County. The town will provide additional information as it becomes available and permissible within the parameters of the law. Thank you for your patience, Council. Moving on to item 4, the consent agenda. Mr. LeGloahec.
I would ask that the minutes of the work session on 9/25 be removed from the consent agenda.
Okay. That is completely fine. Would you like to make a motion as to what to do with those minutes? Are you tabling them?
I'd like to just have them removed until they can be amended.
Okay. So we'll drop them from this agenda then.
Please.
Then, Council, if there are no other changes, is there unanimous consent to approve the September 11, 2025 town meeting minutes, the grant application from Community Native Planting Project, and the appointment of Paul John Cruz as a Youth Council Advisor?
So moved.
Hearing no objection to unanimous consent, those items are consented to and approved. The 9:25 minutes we will push to a subsequent agenda item. Item 5 on the agenda is resident input. This is the period for public comment for items that are not otherwise specified on the agenda as having public input. You're entitled to speak for up to 3 minutes. You're asked to please state your name and ward. We will not be granting any additional time for resident input. Let me say so feel free to come up to the podium if you'd like to speak. At the outset, let me say there will be an opportunity for residents to speak on either of the proclamations, as well as the Keller update, the Municipal Association priorities, and the staff day off. If there's anything else anybody would like to talk about, such as trash service, police service, anything else under the sun besides those 5 items, now is your opportunity. Please state your name and ward, and welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Jay Joyner, and I'm part of Ward 1. My quick question is about Cheverly Hill, and right now I understand that there's only 2 lanes there from the 202 side going up to the hill. So my question is, will the residents and the vendors be able to access it from Tuxedo Road or 295 from that end? Or how else will they accommodate such an increased amount of vehicular traffic?
All right, thank you for that question. We normally don't respond fulsomely to questions, so I'll just say thank you for that point, and I would encourage you to check out cheverlyhill.org and other ways to find the plan. There are some road improvements planned, but the major access points are the existing points at the Pepsi plant and from the parkway on the north side.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any other individuals online or in person for resident input? Sheila Salo, are you able to unmute? Ms. Salo, you are up.
Thank you. Excellent. Good evening, Cheverly. Sheila Salo, Ward 2. You may be among the hundreds of Cheverly residents who worked successfully in 2017 to prevent development on land through which our beloved Woodworth Trail runs. The next step would be the town's acquisition of the land to save this green space. That has not yet happened. But Members of the Cheverly Green Infrastructure Committee and Friends of Lower Beaver Dam Creek have worked together to assure the protection of 2 of 6 lots in the hands of absentee landowners. Learning that the 2 lots were available at tax sale, Gabe Horkler, FLBC Trail Manager, took the initiative of bidding on the land. He was successful. Gabe now fully owns the land and is offering it to the town at cost. The hope is that the town will agree to protect the land in its natural condition in perpetuity. Acquisition of this property helps fulfill a recommendation of the Green Infrastructure Plan adopted as town policy, the addition of land to our natural areas. These properties provide connections between 2 town-owned parks, Woodworth Park on the east and Magruder Park on the west. The latter includes Magruder Spring, a designated historic site. The trail built by Friends of Lower Beaver Dam Creek runs in part through these properties and connects the 2 parks, providing a continuity of green space for all Cheverly residents, managed by volunteers as an environmental education area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sallow. And that is indeed good news that you bring us. Are there any other items of resident input on any of the topics, any topic, not the ones I mentioned earlier, because we're going to get to those in a minute? Seeing none online and none in person, we will move on to item 6, which is the swearing in. Mr. Galloway, are you the maestro of this, or is that Ms. White? You're the conductor?
Yes, sir. So, Mayor and Council, thank you so much for the previous meeting of nominating and voting on your youth council representatives. I will now have the youth council approach the podium, and we will swear them in all at one time. All right? Thank you.
And then council will do a picture. All right. So we have quite a few things to manage here, but welcome.
Thank you.
So we're going to pass these out, and then you're each going to need to sign these, your own. But I will do the swearing in first. So why don't you? I want to make sure we can be heard. So, does that sound okay? Okay. So I will do the single oath for all of you. Ready? Okay. Okay. I state your name.
I, Caitlin Rowe,
Do solemnly swear or affirm that
do solemnly swear and affirm that
I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I will be faithful and bear allegiance to the state of Maryland
I will be faithful and bear allegiance to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof.
and support the Constitution and laws thereof.
And I will,
And I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully execute
diligently and faithfully execute
the office of Youth Town Council Member
the office of Youth Town Council Member
for the town of Cheverly, Prince George's County,
for the
Maryland,
town of Cheverly, Prince George's County, Maryland,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state
according to the Constitution and laws of this state
and the Charter of the town of Cheverly.
and the Charter of the town of Cheverly.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to move it?
You want to give this to the
Yeah.
individual?
I think we can do that. And then they have to each sign. I don't know if you want to just have them do that at the desk or, okay. Aiden? Caitlin? Oh, perfect. Almost in order. Violet? and then we're going to have, do you want to take pictures and then have them sign? I mean, and then maybe you guys can just line up at the desk to sign, and then I will sign them all. You guys want to come over for this part? Here, I know I'm going to mess these up. Yeah, thank you. And then I can just sign. Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to. Perfect. All right. Thank you all. Congratulations. And then Ms. Richards is going to have you all sign your oaths of office and then give them back. We'll get them back to you.
Let's give them another round of applause.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that. He sat down, didn't he? Yeah. Oh, no, this guy in the green, sure. Okay. Yeah. Stop messing with me. What? I don't know, maybe. Okay, thank you all for that. We're on to item 8, committee reports. Is there an update from the Recreation Council followed by the Cheverly Day Council?
Yes, there's an update. As you know, it is coming the holiday season, and we have the big costume day coming up. So we're doing the annual parade. It's going to be on Saturday, October 25th at 2 p.m. We're doing it later today because of the market that's going to be during that daytime. So it's going to be at 2 p.m. sharp, and from Cheese Park going towards here at Town Park. So please make sure you're there on time. We want to thank the police department for their support as they will escort from Cheese Park the little ones all the way down to Town Park. So 2 p.m. from Cheese Park here to Town Park on Saturday, October 25th. There'll be tons of festivities, ideally face painting, things of that nature, once you arrive here. I yield back.
In the absence of the mayor, anything from the Cheverly Day Committee?
Yes, thank you. So Cheverly Day Committee has asked me to convey its thanks to everyone who attended Cheverly Day. We had a wonderful Cheverly Day. The weather could not have been better. We had a great attendance by the town, and they have asked me to thank all of the amazing youth and adult volunteers on the Midway, and especially all of our sponsors. We had a great lineup of tables going down the alleyway under the trees, and so because it's all about the next thing, we are already looking forward to our 95th anniversary next year, and that date is September 26th. 2026, mark your calendars. This is the 95th, as I said, birthday for Cheverly, and it is a parade year. So if you are a group or an organization, or hey, you just want to drive your car down Cheverly Avenue, you can do that too. So think about what you want that parade float to look like. So that is it from the Cheverly Day Committee. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the Rec Council or the Cheverly Day Committee? 9/26/26 is the date. Committed to memory. Okay. Next is the Planning Board. Councilmember Tanzi.
The planning board met last night. The former chair, Joyce Tespis, has resigned as chair. There is expected to be an election of a new chair and co-chair next meeting. They do want to develop procedures and norms in compliance with the advisory committee rules and guidelines of the town. I've shared that with Carlo and Brian, who are expected to be the new chair and co-chair respectively. We went over the questions they had submitted last month. They recommend we submit the question set in its entirety. I recommended that we modify the preface to make it clear what the town is seeking in asking those questions. They would like to have a joint session with the developer and some subset of the mayor and council to be part of that. And they would like the mayor and council to continue to recruit more members to the planning board.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Tanzi to take back to our planning board? Okay. Any update? I don't think the Board of Elections is online. Any update from them or the Ethics Commission? Okay. I believe that Chair Rule intended to have a meeting in last week, I think. I don't know if it happened. So that's a non-update, I guess. But I was hoping he would be here to update on that. But he had intended to organize a meeting and had organized it, and I don't know if it was able to happen. Mr. Galloway?
Mayor?
Yes.
This is the attorney. They did have a meeting scheduled due to a notice issue. They canceled the meeting, and they are trying to reschedule the meeting, I believe, for October the 20th.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Deloach. That is a good update. So we look forward to hearing from them, if not at the November town meeting, at the December town meeting after they're able to meet. Any questions for Mr. Deloach to pass to the Ethics Commission? Hearing none. Any update from Hometown Heroes? Mr.
No, sir.
Galloway? Nope? Okay.
No update.
Excellent. Any questions, council, on any of those reports? All right. The next item then, that concludes our report, so we will go to item 9, which is the closed meeting summary. I will read the fair summary of the revised September 4, 2025 closed meeting. So bear with me, I will read it to you. There will be extra points for those who are still awake at the end. Closed meeting summary, September 4, 2025, as amended. On September 4th, 2025, the mayor and council voted unanimously to convene a closed session pursuant to Maryland Code 3101 of the General Provisions Article, Open Meetings Act. The closed session was convened at the conclusion of a special meeting at 7:06 p.m. by motion made by Councilmember LeGloahec and seconded by Councilmember Tanzi. The vote was unanimous by those present, Tanzi, LeGloahec, Wade, and Mayor Watson, to hold a closed session for the following reasons. 1, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. That section of the law is 30305B1. The second reason was 30305B7, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. Those were the only 2 reasons cited. Those present in the closed session were the mayor and council, excluding Councilmember Fry, who was excused, Vice Mayor Briner, who was there for part of the meeting, Delane Galloway, the town administrator, Jason Deloach, Esquire, for part of the meeting, Todd Pounds, part of the meeting. The 2 of them are town attorneys. Chief Morris for part of the meeting, and Deputy Chief Kraus for part of the meeting. We need to change that Morris to Kraus. During the closed meeting, the mayor and council received a report from the town administrator addressing certain employment and personnel-related legal issues raised to the mayor and council by a specific individual. Mr. Galloway addressed each issue raised along with questions by the mayor and council. Mayor and vice mayor reported out on a personnel meeting. Attorney DeLoach addressed legal questions from the mayor and council and advised legal advice on the issues. Chief Morris and Deputy Chief Kraus reported on a personnel matter regarding a specific employee in the police department and provided how he will proceed on the matter. Todd Pounds, town attorney, provided an update on ongoing litigation regarding annexation and the timelines associated therewith. No actions were taken during the closed meeting. A motion to adjourn the closed meeting was made by Councilmember LeGloahec and seconded by Councilmember Garces. The motion passed unanimously. The closed session ended at 8:35 p.m. on the 4th of September, 2025. The next item of business is item 10, the proclamation for Indigenous Peoples Day. Does anyone care to read this particularly, or shall I read it? What's your pleasure? All right, hearing that you would like me to do it, I will do it. Proclamation today, Thursday, October 9th, 2025, for Indigenous Peoples Day. This proclamation recognizes October 13th, 2025 as Indigenous Peoples Day in the town of Cheverly. Whereas the Town Council of the Town of Cheverly recognizes that Cheverly was founded and is built upon lands first inhabited by the indigenous people of this Nacotchtank, Anacostan Territory, and Piscataway Conoy tribe. And whereas the Town of Cheverly recognizes that indigenous peoples of the lands that would later become known as the Americas have inhabited these lands since time immemorial. Whereas the history of this nation includes the forcible removal of indigenous peoples from their ancestral lands, forcing assimilation, and nearly erasing the vibrant cultures of our first environmental stewards. And whereas the town of Cheverly recognizes that confronting our past requires strong self-reflection, honesty, and accountability to do better than those who came before us for the benefit of the next 7 generations. And this work is done in partnership with our sovereign indigenous nations. And whereas the town of Cheverly is proud to be included in a growing number of cities and towns in the United States to have recognized the second Monday of October as Indigenous Peoples Day, thereby creating an opportunity to reflect on our past, learn about and celebrate indigenous peoples, their resiliency, and their very real modern presence in our community, not merely as a relic of the past. And now, therefore, be it resolved, Cheverly Mayor and Council do hereby recognize Monday, October 13, 2025, as Indigenous Peoples Day in the town of Cheverly, and encourage residents to acknowledge and honor the First Nations members of our community, past and present, without whom the creation of this country would not have been possible. Sign this 9th day of October, 2025. Council, shall I sign this, or would you like to vote to adopt it? It's up to you. We don't have to. Okay. Seeing unanimous consent, I will sign and proclaim thusly. I think all of you need to sign it as well. Okay. Moving on to item 10B, which is the St. Ambrose Proclamation. Would you like to read this, Mr. LeGloahec?
A proclamation on the 75th anniversary of St. Ambrose School. Whereas St. Ambrose School was established in 1950 and staffed by the Sisters of St. Benedict of Elizabeth, New Jersey, and lay faculty to educate young students of the Cheverly community. And whereas St. Ambrose School has been, for 75 years, a visible and exemplary sign of Christian and civic values, whose mission is to create lifelong learners who embrace their faith, take educational and personal risks, and set and accomplish goals based on their abilities. And whereas St. Ambrose School offers students an atmosphere of strong moral values and a community of care and support, with a school environment in which discipline, structure, and responsibility are coupled with creativity, innovation, and student leadership, and whereas St. Ambrose School has exposed and educated generations of young people in a tradition of service to community, a service that has spanned from our local to global communities, and whereas St. Ambrose School has educated thousands of Cheverly residents and can count hundreds of alumni among its current population, as well as a community of numerous current students, parents, and parents of alumni. And whereas St. Ambrose School has educated thousands of Cheverly residents, and so that needs to be taken, it's in there twice. And whereas the impact of St. Ambrose students, parents, and alumni has left a lasting and positive influence on the town of Cheverly and is felt through our Cheverly community from St. Ambrose Parish to the Cheverly Boys and Girls Club to the Cheverly Pool, and continues to sustain organizations and efforts in between. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Cheverly hereby officially recognizes October 12th, 2025 in honor of St. Ambrose School's 75th anniversary, and does willingly lead others in the appreciation and the admiration of the school community. Be it further resolved that this proclamation be prepared and presented with the wish that the past, present, and future St. Ambrose School family enjoys many more years of service and success. Signed this day, 9th day of October, 2025.
All right, thank you for that. Do you want to return that draft to Ms. Richards, and we'll get it reprinted tonight?
Yeah.
Is there any comments from the council? Any resident input? I should have asked for resident input on the Indigenous Peoples Proclamation, and I missed it. Any resident input on either proclamation? Council, if you're good, we will move on to item 12, the Keller update. Mr. Galloway, do you want to set the table, or Mr. Cardenas?
No, Mr. Cardenas is not here this evening. Mayor and Council, I'll just turn the floor over to Keller. I do think that our CPJ consultant is here this evening, Robin, and Robin will provide comments when necessary.
Understood. Okay. Then let's have Kellers kick it off, and Robin, just put your hand up or interject on behalf of the town as you feel you need to.
Okay, well, good afternoon or good evening. First off, I'd like to say we had a good couple of weeks since last time we met. We've had some decent progress. And cutting to probably the most important item is the water service, which really kicks off the rest of the work and the start of final inspections. We just today received two of the 4 items that we need, and have prepared the third for submission tomorrow. And I can give you a quick, brief rundown of what that is. Today we got the approval of the first set of documents, which were the as-bills. We then were able to get our certificate of substantial completion issued by WSSC. And then the third item that we were able to do today was to prepare the application for the service and have a certified release of lien prepared. All of those documents then get submitted tomorrow morning. It has to be in person on hard paper, wet signatures at the permit office desk for WSSC. That entire process basically happened today. And as a comparison, on most projects at most times, that series of steps usually takes anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. And so I just want to say WSSC right now is working diligently with us as our design engineers at KCI to make sure that we're cutting all the corners and pushing things through with a minimum of delay. The next step is after tomorrow morning, they receive the paperwork. They enter it into the system. It becomes a live document with a number. And then at that point, we can start to ask for a continued expediting from WSSC to actually do the final approval. The final approval would be essentially allowing the inspectors to come out and certify the work and allow for the service, which is water, to come online and be connected. So pending tomorrow, as far as them entering into the system and then taking a look at it, we'll see what they can do for us.
Okay, CPJ, anything to add at this point?
Not at this point, no.
All right.
So I'll
ahead,
chime in
Mr.
here. I do know that Councilmember Tansey has questions as it relates to the field, and Councilmember Tansey, I'll defer to you now.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. That's good to know that some of the permitting is going expeditiously. I was on the site at the end of September, and I noticed that where the fence at least was, I haven't been there in past week, but where the fence was along the field, there's a pretty substantial change in grade from where the field is currently used and the building. And I wrote to Town Administrator Galloway that I remembered seeing the field plan showing or projecting soccer fields and other fields on that site across from the building, meaning not the length, not the stretching the length of the field, but going across the field, basically from track to track, which seems impossible with the current grade that I witnessed. So I'd like to know what the plan is to make sure that we have use of the full width of the field.
Great question.
Well, I need to take a look at it. I have not seen what you're referencing. I'll take a look at it tomorrow, and we'll sit down with the drawings and the plans and the as-built and everything we have, and we'll see what's up. I can report back to Mr. Galloway and his team what we come up with, and then he can forward it on to you.
All right, so Mr. Galloway, can we ask you and Mr. Cardenas to follow up with the council next week about the track width?
Yes, we will. We have a meeting, I think, tomorrow, and we have an additional meeting on Tuesday. So it will probably be after Tuesday when you will hear from me regarding this matter, okay?
Vice Mayor?
I just wanted to echo Councilmember Tansey's concern. I don't think we can overstate the importance of having a usable field for so many different reasons, and a usable track. This is a project that has taken that amenity away from our residents for much longer than we had originally anticipated. And it is a well-used and well-loved amenity in our community. So it's really imperative that we make sure that Boys and Girls Club can play soccer and baseball and whatever else on the whole field, and that the track is usable for not just runners, but pedestrians, wheelchairs, and strollers.
Okay. I'll be out there in the morning. I'll take a look at it. We'll come up with a plan of attack, see what's going on.
All right, other questions or comments, council? So this seems like it's been a very productive 2 weeks. We will ask you to come back on the 23rd of October and the 13th of November. What I guess the question for all of you is, since it's been 14 days since we spoke, what now looks like the target UNO date? Use and occupancy, I should say.
I'll defer. Go ahead, Kelly. I was going to defer to you.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. The original plan was to have the approvals Monday the 6th, and I'm hopeful if we can get the same expedited service we've been getting, that all happens tomorrow. And that would basically lose about 4 days from the original date that we published a couple of weeks ago, which I believe was 18 November. So that would put us into 22nd-ish, 23rd. I will just, as an aside, add that since we published the plan, we're starting now to see some opportunities where we might be able to do some things a little different, expediting on our own part. And so I will republish the plan after tomorrow. So call it Monday. I'll be able to submit it to the town. And I can nail down that expected date, particularly if we do get some positive news from WSSC tomorrow. Then that'll start locking in some things. And just as an aside, we went ahead and on speculation excavated around the pipe connection, and then now at that point we knew what fittings and pieces we needed. We cut and fit. We actually test fit and built the system. We couldn't legally do that, so we unbolted it and put it aside. But we at least know now the parts are here. They all fit. They're going to work when we're given the go ahead, and that's going to help cut down the install time once we actually do get it. So that was a little bit of a positive in that regard as well. So Monday I'll be able to republish, but I think right now if I don't do anything different, it's just before Thanksgiving, like the 22nd, 23rd.
Mr. Galloway?
I don't have any comments at this point. I'll say that, Kelly, thank you all for what you did for Cheverly Day. Very appreciative of that, and your team for working with us to make sure that that day can be as pleasant as it was. So thank you so much.
Yep, glad to, at this point, do whatever we can.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
You know, just to let you all know, which is a part of my update, the field was closed today. It'll be closed again tomorrow. All right, but it will be open for access on Saturday. I saw Councilmember Wade look at me like, oh, what about soccer? Soccer is still going to go on, okay? But these were scheduled days for them to be off due to some of the maintenance that had to be done. So just wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. And if you got any questions, right now would be the time to ask, because Kelly is on, and he may be able to answer some of those.
Just a follow-up regarding Saturday, just to make sure that there is a safe path, so we don't have the nightmare that we had a couple weeks back. So people, even with wheelchairs or babies with their strollers, can get across. So there will be a safe path on that Saturday. We'll greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. The asphalt was paved earlier in the week. So where we used to have gravel, we now have pavement. And then the operations today and tomorrow were the rubberized track coating that will even fill more of the gap. So it should be a lot smoother than it's been for quite some time. That's why the track was closed, is because we were trying to apply or not trying to, but we were applying the rubberized coating. Tomorrow morning should be good to go. I mean, Saturday morning, excuse me.
Yeah. And just another follow-up, will there be any parking restrictions outside of the norm? Because there were parking restrictions on that particular day.
None from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I heard 6 weeks from now, so that's what I wrote down in my book here. Okay. Well, we thank you in advance for coming on October 23rd to our work session. And
sure.
Also, yes, and also the November 13 town meeting. I do have a track item to bring up, but is there any resident input on the Ely building construction? I'll just quickly bring up I'll quickly bring up my track item, which is, I got a request from a resident. I don't think this is really a Keller issue. I think it's maybe a Mr. Brayman issue, is that we are very clear when the track reopens, where the 1 mile mark is. Because it's not going to be 3.3 loops anymore. It's going to be something like 3.7. And we're really good about marking the starting point. But if we can just make sure we mark somewhere on the track where the mile, that the catch-up part is.
We can do that.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, name and ward.
Bethany L'Italian, Ward 3.
Yep.
I'm going to get it right from now on. Yeah, I heard Keller say that they're cutting corners. Cutting corners can come back to bite you. I don't know if it was legal corners that were cut or safety corners or what, but that's really concerning. Thank you.
What?
Maybe that was the wrong word to use.
Yeah, go
What
ahead.
I meant-
Go ahead.
what I
And then the vice mayor will, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Maybe what I should have said is we're looking for opportunities to overlap activities so we do more than one thing at a time, as opposed to waiting for one thing to do the next, It's more efficient if you can start one thing, work a little bit, start the next thing, and then the trades just follow each other across the path, whatever the path is. That's essentially all I meant by cutting corners. I'm thinking of it as in terms of a race, and we're going around the track. And if you want to get faster, you go to the inside and you cut the corner, right? And so you pick up a little bit of advantage by doing things more efficiently. Absolutely not cutting corners on anything that you mentioned, and certainly not safety or quality. It's really just a matter of trying to be more efficient and smarter about how things are organized and planned.
I was just going to say, Bethany, I picked up on that too, and it raised little alarm bells in my head, but it does seem like it was just an inapt use of an idiom rather than actually cutting corners. I do believe that he was just talking about finding efficiencies.
Correct.
But we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Is there any other resident input at this time on the Ely building construction? Okay, hearing none, thank you. And again, we'll see you soon. And I know you'll be in touch with Mr. Galloway before you see us again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Item 13, PGCMA priorities discussion. Who wanted to lead this item? It wasn't me, right? Was this you, Councilmember Wade? Oh, Councilmember Fry, was this your item?
It's not necessarily my item, but it is something that they've asked for each of the municipalities to provide their priorities, so that PGCMA as an entity can try to advocate for specific things. I don't recall what last year's priorities were, and I don't know if anything came from the retreat with the board. So Councilmember Wade, you might have a better idea about that in regards to if there was any priorities talked about there. But us as a town, if we have any, it would be good for us to make sure that we bring them forward.
All right, thank you for that. Vice Mayor.
I am nominally, I think, on the legislative committee, although we haven't met, I think, since before MML, unless I've fallen off the email list. But some of the priorities from last year included speed camera citation legislation, maglev, which obviously has had some advancements since then, a lot about land use authority and zoning when it comes to municipalities, and what was Eric's Law, which got passed as well, increasing municipal infraction fees. Right now, the top, I think, was $1,000, and they're talking about increasing the cap to $5,000. One of the things that I am frustrated with is that as PGCMA's legislative committee, anything that we support or advocate for legislatively needs to also be supported by MML. And those two things are not always the same. MML's priorities don't always align with what is best for Prince George's County. So that is frustrating, but I think if there's anything particularly to do with automated citations or zoning and land use, those seem to be the hot topics that get traction via the legislative committee.
Councilmember Wade.
Yeah, we've been on the board that we have talked. The main thing is to make sure that all the municipalities are in alignment with each other to, as Vice Mayor mentioned, MML stripping a lot of our authority to be independent from them. So we got to be careful as far as what we do regarding that. But one thing is that, of course, with what we're seeing with the furloughs and layoffs, that our residents are being supported on the state level. Not saying they're not now, but even providing more resources, social services, things for them to make sure that they're taken advantage of. So especially the Prince George's County as a whole, because of the fact that it makes up a large part of our municipalities as well as the county as a whole. So, and particularly Cheverly as well. So I think that might be something that we need to look into, with everyone being furloughed right now, but also we don't know what's coming down the pipeline going forward from there as far as any other layoffs or cuts. So any services or job resources that can be brought back to Prince George's County and then from a monetary standpoint.
Oh, yes, Vice Mayor.
I unfortunately was not well and not able to attend any of the meetings last week with Delegate Ivy, but I am interested to hear, for those of you who did meet with him, whether any legislative priorities came out of those conversations, anything that he's working on that we could also support.
For me personally, most of the things that were discussed dealt with Ward 1. We talked about, as mentioned, the 5701 Landover Road park that we're building there, getting funding for that. A lot of stormwater stuff being done as far as legislation for that. The WSAC site that's in Ward 1, purchasing that site and to making that into some type of recreational facility for all to use. And we also mentioned about a dog park in Ward 1 as well. We don't have one currently in the town of Cheverly. There's a perfect location lot that we can use in Ward 1 as far as getting that. And also the purchase of a home that is on Newton Street on the other side of Ward 1 that is not only an eyesore, it's a safety issue as far as help getting funds for that, to purchase that, making that into a park or something for the kids on that side, as far as we have some type of playground structure to be there. But again, my stuff dealt more towards Ward 1. Delegate Ivy was very much interested. I was actually with him earlier today at Delegate Fennell's event, and we discussed it briefly there. But those are things that I directly discussed with him.
Anyone else?
And I would love to get the support of the council for those particular items, if that, okay.
We sort of inferred that. Okay. Okay, so council, how do you want to proceed on PGCMA priorities? Do we want to ask PGCMA or forward anything, brilliant ideas from Cheverly for them to feed into their process?
I feel like the last time we met with the legislative committee, we talked about the survey not just being open-ended, but also having some suggestions of things that could be supported for us to sign on to, because it's kind of hard to start with a blank slate of like, what is our priority, when we know that it's going to be a narrow focus once MML announces its priorities. So I have a hard time with just sort of saying, this is what is our priority with that kind of a blank slate. That being said, again, things like automated citation fees and zoning seem to be winners. And I think we can be general about that in the survey.
Mr. Tanzi.
Just to echo that point, I don't know what the timeline is for establishing said priorities, but I would be asking if they have some list that we could be prioritizing rather than coming up with one from scratch.
Oh, like, yeah, rather than free form writing it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Council, what do you want to do next? Or Councilmember Wade, do you need anything from us to take back to the board?
If you can, just a list of things that someone sent me an email or something like that, a list of the things that we have discussed, and then I would ask what Councilmember Tansey just asked, what are their priorities? They have not been discussed, so that's why I haven't mentioned anything as a whole, other than the fact of just making sure that our authorities are not being violated, that we are a organization, PG&CMA, that is separate from MML, but working with MML. So that's the main function that we've been trying to get past and get through. But if we have a list, I can present that to the board and then look at their list as well, bring that back to us and see if there are any alignments with that. But one thing, I think, even not speaking for you, Councilman Tansey, but I'll say that Delegate Ivy was very much interested in things such as a play area, playground, stuff like that, getting funds from that. He was very much excited about that because you mentioned something for Ward 4 as well, Boyd Park area as well. So, so getting a list of items that from the town, and then looking at those items and see if they're in alignment with the priorities, if PGCMA has priorities outside of the ones mentioned, and see how they can work well together, and I can report that back.
Okay. And I believe, Councilmember Wade, you and I are attending at the MML Fall Conference?
That's correct. I'll be there on Sunday.
Okay, so anybody, any council members who have recommendations that you want us to try to run around at the Fall Conference, please let Councilmember Wade and me know by this weekend. All right, any further comments on this topic? Any comments from the public about the Municipal Association legislative priorities? Okay, hearing none, yes. Oh, Councilmember Garces.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I just hopped on here. Just got out of work. But, I mean, you already know that my thing is always accessible pathways. You know, so if somehow we could work that into you know, where we're talking to. And again, I apologize. I just hopped on this call, and the last thing I heard was, you know, people are requesting things for their ward. So I just very much want to make it aware and remind you guys that, you know, that I'm still currently awaiting the startup of my accessible pathway on Kilmer, right? You know, if somehow we could work that in, and, you know, we really appreciate it.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, hearing none, no further comments from council or the public on item 13. Let us move to item 14, staff day off. Mr. Galloway, this is your item concerning Friday, December 26, 2025.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Just bringing this up because history has a way of repeating itself. So the very first year that I gained employment in the town of Cheverly, this request was made before the mayor and council, and I am making the same request. That day, we have trash on the west side, and on that following Monday, it would be proposed to do town-wide trash if approved by the mayor and council. So we're asking for the December the 26th day to be another staff holiday as well, and wanted to get the approval of the mayor and council so we can plan accordingly.
Okay, practically speaking then, there would be, for trash, just trash only, or, you know, pickups, recycling pickup would be on the 24th, Christmas Eve. And then how would we make up for Thursday and Friday? And those of us on the west side don't get anything on Thursday anyway. But so what would be, so Monday would be normal, Tuesday normal, Wednesday is regular recycling. And then how are we compensating for Thursday and Friday? By doing town-wide trash on Monday?
On Monday, yes, correct.
Along with yard waste?
Along with yard waste, correct.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear about that. Okay, and then my second question is, what are the implications for police overtime? If it's a holiday, it's a holiday. So is it?
That would be a floating day, so that.
It'd be a floating day.
That would be a
Okay.
floating day, so that they would be able to take that day off at their convenience when planned with their supervisor.
Okay. Council, questions for the town administrator? Mr. Legloahec.
So just to clarify, there is no plan at this time for a holiday of any kind, either a half day or anything on the 24th?
On the 24th, we normally let staff go typically around noon.
So like a half day on the 24th?
Typically, all right? It's slow here. No one is doing any town business on that day outside of making sure that the trash is picked up. But by 11:45...
That would just be a recycling day?
Yes. We're just running the light bill up at that point.
Mr. Wade.
No, I just believe in a work-life balance, especially in today's time. It's just a example of how amazing our staff is. Cheverly Day. I had friends come for the first time to Cheverly, never knew it was here, and to see what exactly is put on here on a daily basis. We can always improve, but I'm all in favor of people spending time with their family and friends, especially, like I mentioned, with what's going on in today's time. So I'm very much in favor of this. I have full faith that that if need be things come up, that we will adjust, and then someone from the town will make sure those things are handled, but as a whole. But I'm very much in favor of this and for the staff and what they have done.
Any other comments from the council before we go to the public?
Councilmember Garces has his hand raised.
Councilmember Garces.
Yeah, I just want to also say I agree with Mr. Wade that sorry that our staff has endlessly worked day and night throughout the whole year, and I'm definitely up for letting them leave early on the 24th and closing 26 or whatever situation was proposed. I'm definitely up for it. I mean, again, another Cheverly Day that just staff seems to just produce and definitely produce what we hold them to, what certain expectations, and they over surpass that, and so I'm all for it.
All right. Seeing nothing else from the council, is there any public input on the idea of granting the town staff an additional holiday on Friday, December 26th? Seeing none in the room and seeing none online, council, is there a motion?
Yeah, I motion to have mayor for us to vote to give town staff the day off on Friday, December 26, 2025, with everything going back to as it is on that following Monday regarding trash, town-wide trash pickup.
I second.
All right, the motion is made by Councilmember Wade and seconded by Councilmember Legloahec to grant Friday, December 26, 2025 as an additional staff holiday. Is there any discussion from the council? Mr. Galloway, did you have any comment as a member of the council?
No, Mayor and Council, I would just like to say before the vote, thank you all in advance, and we look forward to celebrating on that day as well, so thank you.
As the mayor, I won't be voting on this motion. Okay, is there any other discussion from the council? Hearing none and seeing none from Councilmember Fry or Garces, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 6-0. Congratulations. Okay, item 15, Town Administrator Report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. And Mayor, if you were voting, I think you would have voted in favor of it as well. I'm just kidding. Good evening, Mayor and Council, Town of Cheverly. Just a few updates to provide this evening. Just as a reminder, we're having a vaccine clinic. Typically, we have those outside. The vaccine clinic has been moved indoors. On Sunday, October the 12th, it will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So just as a reminder, just to let you all know, we have begun the inspections at Cheverly Station. A comprehensive report will be given to the Mayor and Council at the conclusion of the report. We are working directly with DPI and Prince George's County Fire Department. The fire department was there today, found numerous violations. However, I can go into more detail at the conclusion of the inspection, and a lot of that will be in the report. Mayor and Council, we were awarded a project charge award again. We did receive an email, but it didn't have the dollar amount. However, I am anticipating $50,000 to enhance our bleachers. It is our understanding that the gym floors should arrive somewhere in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then we can schedule installation from there. So we're going to try to coordinate upgrading our bleachers, floors, and some other things cosmetically that we want to do in here to enhance the overall community center, so that we don't have many interruptions of town activities. So we're looking forward to this much needed upgrade, and thank you all for your patience as we have been working with our vendors and partners. Any questions with that? Because I do see a few folks that may have questions.
Can you just go over what project charge is? I'm not sure what that is, so just a brief understanding of that.
The project charge?
Yeah.
Project charge is an allocation of money that the county council provides in collaboration with Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. Last year, we were awarded $100,000 to upgrade our gym floors. As you know, there are various reasons and how money can be allocated or are used for such award, but that pot of money was used specifically to enhance the gym floors. The next set of money that we're receiving will be for the enhancement of the bleachers.
Thank you.
Councilmember Fry.
Mr. Galloway, I might have missed it. Did you mention when the time frame was for starting this work? Will it happen before basketball season?
Yes, we're making every effort that we can to before basketball season. However, if there is a brief interruption there, we will coordinate with the Boys and Girls Club to ensure that they are aware of the installation of the floors.
Excellent. And then the second thing, I just want to make sure, Mayor, especially you as well as Mr. Galloway, that probably around January to make sure to reach out to both the District 5 council member as well as the at-large council member to ask that they continue that fund for the town of Cheverly and potentially increase it because it was decreased by the current chair this year. It is taxpayer money, so it is our money that they are using to then, feed back into the communities. So I know that we have a lot of programming that we want to do, so it could always go that way. But if not, we look at, some of it going towards parks and stuff like our facilities. So thank you for your work on that.
No, thank you so much. And what we'll do is I'll have staff put a May 1st reminder so that we can reach out to our District 5 and at-large council members to make that request. Any other questions as it relates to the project charge award? Mayor and council, I've received a few emails as it relates to tax exemptions for disabled veterans. Just wanted to put that there so we can have a discussion at a work session. I intend on doing more due diligence on this because it's my understanding that the state already offers an exemption, and I wanted to see how the town can if we aren't already doing it. I'm pretty positive we're not, but I want to make sure that if it's something that the county and the state are doing, then maybe we can mirror another program that we're currently doing. So I just wanted to put that there. Mayor and council, as far as the government shutdown resources, I've pretty much provided some resources for you there. If you wanted to pass that forward to our colleagues that are some neighbors that may need that. So that's there as it relates to the government shutdown. My heart is with the people right now during this time, and I hope that the government will reopen. Halloween parade. We are collaborating with the Recreation Council on October the 25th, beginning at 2 p.m. We will have a Rec Council parade beginning at Cheese Park and ending here at Town Park. So please put that on your radar. Mayor and council, as always, I know you all don't like to ask for voting items, but this is one I'm going to ask you to vote on, and this is the Employee of the Year incentive. It's something that we do every year where we provide the Employees of the Year $500. So I'm asking if we can provide Sergeant Orhan Baller and Mr. Gregory Crawford their $500 bonus incentive. This is a past practice that we have been doing continuously since I've been here, and I think this tradition started before I got here. So, Mayor and Council, I would like to ask if you can make a motion to approve the bonuses for the two individuals.
Council, are you okay doing that tonight? Any objection to doing that tonight? Councilmember Briner.
I'd like to make a motion to approve awarding Mr. Crawford and Sergeant Byler with the bonus as outlined by the town administrator.
Second.
All right. A motion by Councilmember Briner and seconded by Councilmember Garces. Is there any discussion amongst the council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Any abstentions? Hearing no abstentions, the vote is 6-0 in the affirmative. Mr. Galloway, please execute that as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much, and we will. We're very appreciative of their dedication to the town. As it relates to the retreat, Mayor and Council, please be on the lookout for an email from Janice Taylor scheduling time to have a discussion with you for retreat preparation. The last two items I just want to touch on real quickly as it relates to the Ely building ribbon cutting. Just want to thank the Public Works Department for hosting such a wonderful event. The Ely building ribbon cutting, I think, was a success. It was small. It was a smaller and intimate ribbon cutting that had family there from California and Hawaii. We were blown away by how organized it was and how beautiful the event was. So thank you so much, Public Works, and the Your Home, Your Future event. It was a great collaboration with town resident Ms. Susan Pruden on providing resources and education material to residents of Cheverly and the surrounding areas. So, Mayor and Council, that concludes my town administrator report. And if you have any additional questions about anything else, I'm open to entertain those right now.
Council, questions for the town administrator? Vice Mayor Briner.
This maybe belongs in the Public Works report, but I believe you're giving that as well.
Yes.
I have concerns about the WSSC no parking signs that have been on 63rd Avenue. They put them up originally, and I think it was for 3 weeks or more, which is a huge amount of time for people, especially on that road, to not be able to park in front of their houses because so few of them have driveways. And there's not a lot of available parking nearby, and it's very hilly. So it poses a real accessibility problem. Those signs were meant to expire tomorrow, and I have heard that they put up new signs for an additional 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 2 weeks? Whichever. Coupling that with the fact that what I'm hearing is that they haven't done much actual work during those time periods that would necessitate people to not be parking there. I'd like to make a request of WSSC that they look at their schedule and find a short period of time in which they can do that work and for which folks would have to move their cars and not just have these blanket no parking signs for now, what, a month and a half, 2 months? It's just not, I mean, it's not appropriate regardless, but there's so many folks on that street who have accessibility issues and they can't get to their houses if they can't park in front of them.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Briner. Give me one moment, we may have an update. Are there any other questions as it relates to anything else?
Other council members have questions or comments for the town administrator?
I've got a question.
Oh, Mr. Tanzi, please.
How was the conference you just went to?
Conference that I just went to, I just attended the Main Street Maryland conference in Easton, Maryland for the past 2 days. It was a great conference. Gave me perspective on an area that I do want to turn into a Main Street one day. However, that area is not yet in the town. But, overall, we were able to make some great contacts for the town, and I feel pretty confident about securing some funding for a project that we've been working on for a tremendous amount of time. So just overall a great conference. Highly recommend next year, if it's within close proximity, that the mayor and council attended as well. Secretary Day, of course, gave remarks, and he was there and attended the conference along with the lieutenant governor. So all in all, I definitely highly recommend this conference opportunity for the entire mayor and council if it's available.
Any other questions? Okay, Councilmember.
Should I just speak?
No, go ahead. I was just going to say you need.
Okay.
Do you have? If either Councilmember Fry or Garces have additional questions, please shout them out.
Okay, yeah, because I've had my hand up. Let me see. So I just wanted to clarify the reason that I was inquiring about the tax exemption is because at the state level, anybody who is a veteran who is 100% permanently disabled has their property taxes exempted, and that also includes the county. And so that's why I don't know if our residents know that, but the ones that do, to make sure that they know, and if there's anything that we need to proactively do regarding our rules, charter, policy, whatever, to make sure that it's explicit, because it can be confusing for some of our residents as they're doing the research as to, if it automatically applies or not, and I believe that it's supposed to, but I don't know that anybody's taken advantage of that. So I appreciate looking into that, and hopefully, because I don't think it's explicit anywhere in our charter or ordinances and stuff, that we can do that so that it can be crystal clear who can take advantage of that.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you said. I had not encountered this question in the town ever until 3 or 4 days ago. I agree that it's not explicit, and so I do think it's confusing. And I'm not sure that the county is not collecting property tax from those individuals on behalf of the town. And that is, if they are, that's the policy question that I'm guessing the 7 of us would want to address. Mr. Galloway, did you have
And that's part of my due diligence because, Councilmember Fry, I just want to make sure that if they are, I can answer your question correctly. I have sent a few emails asking the question about this, so I'll look forward to giving a full update at the work session meeting on this matter.
The only other item I had, Mr. Galloway, was the fireworks debris, and I just wanted to address it because I know that you and Mr. Deloach and I are going to have a conversation about it. But just in the interest of full transparency, we did get complaints from Forest Road residents regarding debris in their yards from the fireworks from Cheverly Day. So we will be discussing. I don't want folks to think we're not addressing it. I want to be explicit that we are going to research it, including with the fireworks company, and should have more to say in a few weeks on it. Does that cover it? Do you have anything to add?
That covers it.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you for digging into that with Mr. Deloach. Anything final for the town administrator before we go to the police report?
As it relates to the WSSC question,
yes.
If you'll give me to the Public Works report, I might have an update for you then.
Good. Well, Acting Chief Kraus will buy you a few minutes. Please, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Mayor, Council, before I start, I just want to thank all of you and the community for the outpouring of support that our agency has felt over the last week or so through a little difficult timing. Beyond that, we keep it moving. CPD currently has 1 student officer that's in her 14th week of training in the Prince George's County Police Department's Police Academy. She's doing very well. We have 1 that started Monday in the comparative compliance class, so 8 weeks from now we'll have 1 on the street. We also have 3 experienced police officers in the latter stages of the background process and 25 entry-level applicants that we are currently working through their applications. All officers in the PD have completed the required in-service training for 2025 and firearms range. 2 have rifle qualifications left, and that's it. Patrol and traffic safety initiative. CPD officers have deployed over the last several weeks with the Prince George's County Police Wave Unit and adjusted schedules to deter the increase in the vehicle thefts and thefts from autos throughout the town. Sergeant Jackson has been coordinating all investigations with the Prince George's County Police Department, all of our neighbor jurisdictions, and WMATA. Our officers have made several arrests and issued many criminal citations as a result of offenders rummaging through cars, vehicle thefts, theft from autos, and such. I will tell you that the town has a handful of repeat offenders. We arrest them, they get right back out, they do the same thing, we arrest them again. So we're issuing criminal citations, and at some point warrants will be issued when they don't show up to court. So for now, those problems seem to have died down. The day work shifts have been assigned to both the schools for start and dismissal times, both schools, pending, or of course if they have a call for service, it pulls them away. But other than that, they're there for the dismissal and end of day. So code enforcement, just like Mr. Galloway said, started their re-inspections up at Cheverly Station Apartments. I was there today. The fire department, want to thank them for all their support, and an entire team of investigators or inspectors came out with us, which was great. One, for us to learn some of the newer codes and things that the fire department looks for and points out that I was not aware of. And then we will continue those re-inspections and work with the apartments to try to get everything up into compliance. And then finally, community engagement. We're still moving forward with our haunted police station on the 30th and 31st. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for our community. We have a lot of surprises in store for it. And we'll be reaching out very shortly for volunteers to help us decorate and get ready. And that's it for our police report.
Council, questions for the police department? Acting Chief, thank you for stepping into the Acting Chief role, and please pass on our thanks to Acting Deputy Chief Gleason for stepping into that role while also still doing your day jobs. Are we doing a crime forum, public safety forum in November?
Yes, sir, we are doing it on November the 18th.
Okay, good. That'll be likely in this room on Zoom with translation. Okay, excellent. So council, yeah, that is for those of you, well, I think most of you have attended them in the past, but we haven't had one in a while. But I think we had 2 or 3 last year, and this will be another one of those to address resident concerns about public safety. Councilmember Wade.
Excuse me if I'm stepping on toes. Is that something where, like, say, the acting state attorney and the sheriff and those folks come as well? Didn't we have a representative from the state attorney's office last one?
No, the state's attorneys came and did a seminar on fraud.
Okay, that's what that was.
Yeah.
It's two different things?
It's 2 different things, yeah. This is
Okay.
just
Just wanna
the
make
Cheverly Police Department,
All right.
mayor and council.
You're not
and-
stepping on toes, just asking.
Yeah,
questions. Yeah.
and hopefully residents. But if council members have ideas about, a special briefing or something that someone could bring, we could probably carve out some time slots, 10 minutes or something, if there's an expert from state police or state's attorney or somewhere else. I think that would be welcome. Okay, so that's on the 18th in this room, 18th of November.
November 19th. That event is November 19th.
It's 1/9. The 19th? Okay, thank you.
What about the business roundtable?
Any questions? What time? Do you know what time we're doing it?
I think 7 p.m.
Seems like a safe bet. 7 p.m.
It should be on your council calendar.
What day of the week is it? It's a Wednesday, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got the dates mixed up. Your event is on, this event, the crime forum is on the 18th at 6:30. The business roundtable is on November 19th at 12 noon.
Got it. All right, so I get half a point for getting the 18th right. All right. And the 18th is what day of the week? It's a Wednesday. It's a week after Veterans Day. Anything further for the police department from the council? Seeing none, thank you. Mr. Galloway, Mr. Cardenas' report.
So we don't have any update yet on the 63rd, and what we'll do is we'll follow up with WSSC to provide an update as soon as possible, okay? As it relates to the Public Works report, well, before going into that, I should have done this in the administrator's report, but yeah, I concur everything what the mayor has said as far as with Acting Chief Kraus and Acting Deputy Chief Gleason. They have just risen to the occasion and have been professional, and in every aspect of this. We're just very fortunate to have the talent and the leadership of acting chief and acting deputy chief, and we couldn't be in any safer hands. So thank you for that. As it relates to Monroe Street sidewalk installation, VMP completed the installation of the new sidewalk on Monroe Street. This improvement enhances pedestrian safety, especially for children walking to and from school. and contributes to the overall accessibility and appearance of the neighborhood. Ongoing and upcoming projects would be street maintenance. They're doing routine pothole and street sign repairs throughout town, leaf collection preparation, and as you all know, leaf collection is going to begin on Tuesday, October the 21st. In Cheverly Day support, Public Works provided full logistical support for Cheverly Day, and it was a success in the support that they provided. Any other questions or comments as it relates to Public Works?
Mr. Tanzi.
I was asked recently how stormwater management is going in the town, and if there are any areas that still have inadequate drainage. I was asked specifically because we were exploring where we might get funding for such things. So this is to learn for myself so I can advocate on behalf of the town to see if we can get some outside funding, for the state funding for this.
Okay, give me a second. Thank you for that question. So just today, we were able to have a kickoff meeting with FEMA so that we can move forward with the monies from that. I don't know if you all know, but that grant was kind of put on pause during the beginning of another administration up until now. So now we have the green light to move forward with that. So as far as stormwater throughout town, the town over the past few years, we've made some adjustments to in collaboration with the county to enhance our stormwater. So we don't have the storm or the flooding of 2021 again. So right now, I think some of the areas that we had some major concerns as it relates to Parkway has been addressed, as it relates to other areas in Ward 2 and some of the areas in Ward 1. Whenever we get threat of rain or a significant amount of rain, we do have public works staff that are here on duty keeping an eye out for that to prevent and mitigate any type of debris buildup or any type of flooding. And if there is, we do have a plan B and a C. So as far as stormwater, maybe that's a discussion that we can have offline with the acting public works director and the public works director when he comes back.
Okay, let's go to Councilmember Fry and then Councilmember Wade.
Thank you. Mr. Galloway, every year, like around, I get it around one time, but I get a complaint about the schedule for the leaf pickup. And I know that it's subject to change. We all know that, but I think that we have some residents who will spend the whole weekend kind of collecting all their leaves, and the severe disappointment at seeing their leaves fly away for a week after because we might be delayed. Is there anything we can do, or do we already do it? Maybe we're just not amplifying it, where there's a updated schedule, maybe online, that's a little more real time than what the newsletter is that hits the houses?
So
I know we do news and announcements, but like maybe where it lives somewhere on the website, so someone who might not get news and announcements would look.
Yeah, we can provide a section of a live schedule on the public works page, and we can have that updated accordingly. But I will let you know and the mayor and council know that if there are days that we get behind on the leave schedule, we typically try to make up for the delay on the weekends, as you all know. So just as an FYI, if we do miss a house just due to weather or machine malfunctions, have them give us a 48-hour grace period, and then at that point I will address it. but please make sure that you let me know so that it can be addressed.
Okay, I think the problem is like when they spend the time ahead of time. And I know that we've had a problem once before where an older resident kind of locked themselves in by putting all their leaves in front of their driveway, which I don't think they'll do again. But that created a lot of havoc. And I know that's not necessarily something that, is our fault per se, because I think it's clearly stated it's subject to change. But anything that we could provide advance notice for as, we're seeing whatever challenges we're seeing could be very helpful for people to know.
Completely understand. Yes, ma'am. Duly noted.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Wade.
Yeah, just wanted to bring up a matter, unfortunately, that a resident mentioned again before the snow hits. I know, Mr. Galloway, we talked about this in the past regarding the 3200 block of Tremont Avenue. No parking on that side. I'm going to send you the email, but the entire block has concerns on why their block can't park on that side of the 3200 block of Tremont Avenue. But we can talk more offline. Just wanted to put it to your attention regarding that so we can address that for them before the snow happens. Thank you.
I had one final item, but it's really a town administrator item, not a public works item. And that was there's some kind of disconnect, and that I want to ask your team to fix in the next 2 weeks. And it is somewhere between cheverlyhill.org and the Cheverly town website's treatment of Hospital Hill. First of all, our website points folks to elected officials who were in office a year and a half ago, but also I want to make sure that our website or either points to their website or the two websites together are painting the most or offering the most up-to-date information, including as much of the preliminary plan of subdivision as is publicly available. So I'm going to leave that with you, and we can talk about it offline. Because I've gotten feedback that it's confusing. Did you have something to add, Vice Mayor, or you're just looking at it?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that it's cheverlyhill.com.
Cheverlyhill.com.
So that residents know what to look for. And it looks like they haven't updated any of the documents since March of 2024.
So I did mention this to one of the members of Home Team 5, but I think it probably is more useful for your team, Mr. Galloway, to work with them to make sure the two websites, because ours is also a little confusing and outdated. And maybe part of the problem is we're working on each other.
Can you tell me what web page you're referring to, Mayor?
I think it's under development.
Economic development?
I think that's right. I'm trying to remember. I looked at it maybe 3 days ago.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Okay. If there's nothing else on Public Works, and thank you for your forbearance there, then we can move to item 18, which is future agenda requests. Council, we are having a closed meeting on the 16th, a week from tonight. We did not agree on a time. Ms. Richards, the reasons that I wrote down to close the meeting for the announcement are 1, 3, 7, and 8, which is more reasons than we usually use, 1, 3, 7, and 8. Council, what is your, and I think this is probably a 2-hour meeting. Is there a preference as to a start time? Again, there will be the,
Anything after 5:30 for me.
The earlier the better for me, 5:30 or 6 o'clock.
Any other takers?
Emmett has a baseball game until 6:45.
And that would be the same for me as well. Well, not Emmett's game, but baseball games.
You don't want to support Emmett?
I would love to support Emmett if I didn't have my own game to go to.
Okay.
Just to reiterate, anything after 5:30 for me, I'm available. So.
Got it. Council, anybody else have a preference? Should we split the difference? What do you think? You want to do 6:30? What do you think?
She just said 6:45.
Well, I know. Can you start as late as 6:45? Yeah. What's your anybody have a preference? That's not a ball related sport. What time is Taekwondo? Just so everyone knows.
5 o'clock.
Okay, I see. Oof. Well, we're not waiting for that.
And I'm sorry, is this in person or virtual?
This meeting can be virtual. I will be in person because I'm very available, but I think there will be a virtual option. Thank you. Appreciate it. I feel it. Feel the support. All right. 6:45? Does anybody hate that idea? All right. What idea do you like better? You want to split the difference and say 6? 6:15? How late can you do?
6:51.
All right. Let's split the difference and say 6:15. We'll put out the announcement, and if council members want certain items stacked according to the agenda, please be in touch with Mr. Galloway, and he can brief you, or me, and he can brief you, or we can brief you on the specific items that we plan to discuss in case we need to stagger Mr. Deloach and Mr. Pounds' availability. Does all that sound okay for everyone? All right, so that's the 16th. We're on to the 23rd, which is the October work session at 7:30 p.m. per usual. I have 4 items that I wrote down on my list. One is the Board of Election Supervisors. One is 5701 Landover Road and the Cheverly Native Planting Project. My intention there is to have them brief on their broad activities quickly, not at 5701, and then for us to have a more in-depth discussion about the plan, implementing the mayor and council's already agreed upon plan for 5701. I have the budget. Mr. Galloway, is that the audit or finances? What is that specifically?
That's the budget update from Diane Mock.
Okay, that's Mock, not Mr.
No.
Not the auditor. I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, Bob Diss.
Bob Diss, Mr. Diss.
Bob Diss may be here at the November town meeting.
Okay.
Or the November/December work session meeting, which is held, by the way, the first Thursday of December.
Yeah. All right. So the 23rd will be Diane Mock updating us on the actual money, both from last year, but also the first quarter of the current fiscal year from the perspective of the treasurer, not from the perspective of the auditor.
Yes.
And then the 4th item I have for the 23rd is the bike trail update. Anybody disagree with that or have additional items? I cannot find any other items in my notes. So, Mr. Tanzi?
I would like to go over the questions that the planning board had submitted. I think we can go over it fairly quickly. I'll try to prepare some comments on the intro so we can have something to move forward with and send to the developer.
Since you're talking about that, the preliminary plan of subdivision, from what I've been updated, is still on par with the 4 to 6 weeks. So as soon as we get it, as soon as I get it, I'll forward to the mayor and council. And you just brought something else up to me as it relates to the Hospital Hill and RDA. I look forward to meeting with them next week. However, mayor and council, what you will see along Hospital Drive is a fence that will prohibit dumpers from dumping trash there. We have been working with the RDA on mitigating this issue that's going on with dumping. The RDA has hired contractors to come in and remove the dump that has been put there in about 8 or 9 different locations. So now they're working with the town on, they're going to provide a fence along Hospital Drive. So forgot to give that update to you all, but that's where we are with that.
Excellent. Okay, any other agenda items for the 23rd of October or for November 13 or December 4, which is the only work session in November and December. All right, hearing none, we will move to item 19, Mayor and Council announcements. This is an opportunity to share community happenings, and each of you have up to 3 minutes. Would anyone like to kick it off? Mr. LeGloahec, certainly you have a few. I'm good. No? Okay. You're not going to do St. Ambrose? Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, I can do that.
All right.
So yes, members of the community are invited to the St. Ambrose School 75th anniversary celebration. There will be a celebratory mass on Sunday at 10 a.m. at St. Ambrose Parish. And then following that, there will be tours of the school, and there will be a lunch celebration. However, that event was calling for RSVPs prior to Sunday's date. So, but please feel free to come to the Mass on Sunday and enjoy the 75th anniversary celebration for the St. Ambrose School. Thank you.
Mr. Wade.
Just one thing. As we know, this is October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, something that's near and dear to me. If I have not mentioned before, unfortunately, my mom succumbed to breast cancer over 10 years ago. She would have been 75 on October 5th. I wear this pin, and we know how much that affects not only the person, but the family. So we ask that everyone make sure they get checked up, male and female, and that we're aware of this horrible disease and how it truly affects everyone. I yield back.
Thank you for that. Mr. Tanzi, anything? Okay. Vice Mayor? Councilmember Fry? Councilmember Garces? Councilmember Fry?
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that a couple weeks ago, Councilmember Ivy and Chief George Nader from Prince George's County Police Department held a public official security meeting in light of all of the political violence happening all over the country. And it was very informative. There was a couple of speakers, one from the U.S. Capitol Police Chief Manger, as well as Maryland State Police, Captain Gary Mounts, who talked about cybersecurity as well. So there was a few things that I did kind of thoughts that I thought to forward to Mr. Galloway as well as to Deputy Chief in Chief, but just things that I think that we should all be aware of, as well as our community being aware of, because we are very accessible and we are very community oriented. So, we're constantly with our neighbors, and our neighbors, these are things that they should be aware of as well, just to kind of keep an eye out for. So if you haven't received it already, there should have been something sent out, PowerPoints type of thing, but I think it would be really good for us to make sure that we go over and see different ways that we can make sure that we're keeping ourselves, each other, as well as our neighbors safe. So I just wanted to mention that, and then just say thank you to Cheverly Day Committee as well as all the volunteers. Saturday was a beautiful day for Cheverly Day, and the fireworks were fantastic. And I think that despite having the field the way it was and not what we had anticipated initially, it still was a really, really good day. And I think everybody enjoyed themselves. So thank you for that.
All right, thank you for that. Mr. Garces, anything? No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to remind people that October 12th, which is a Sunday, Cheverly Village will be having a flu clinic. I believe it's outside the Cheverly Community Center from 9 to 3 p.m.
Yes, the vaccine clinic. Thank you for reminding folks about that. And no one will be turned away because they can't pay. It's absolutely free. So please spread the word. And I think there are 6 different vaccines being offered. So it's not just flu. I was wrong about that in one instance. It is not just flu. There are a number of free vaccines.
I think it's the pneumonia shot, the RSV for seniors, Shingrix, which is shingles, and Tdap, which is the tetanus shot, and COVID-19.
Yes, sir. Anything else?
No, sir, that'll be it. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. Councilmember Wade.
Sorry, Rec Council's having a pickleball glow-in-the-dark play tournament. I'm not sure if it's a tournament, but here tomorrow night. So if you wanted something to do, be a glow-in-the-dark opportunity to do that. I'm not sure the time. I think it's about 6 or 7 o'clock. I think it's on the website. But tomorrow, pickleball, glow-in-the-dark entertainment. Good time to get a sweat in. Yield back.
Thank you for that advice. I think that leaves only me. The community market is this Saturday from 8 to 12 as normal. This gives me a chance to reiterate that they were awarded the Mayor's Award for Community Activism and Selfless Service for 2025. That is the market board and volunteers. So the market will be here at 6401 Forest Road this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please be mindful of the parking ban at Town Hall, which is, I think, already in effect or will shortly be in effect through Saturday. Mr. Galloway is acting Chief Kraus, the acting town administrator for the next 4 days.
Yes.
Congratulations. Let me be the first to congratulate you. And we're all you are squared away with the market committee for the 6 a.m. Saturday emergencies.
Well, I'll still get the calls, so then I'll call her.
All right. Excellent. So, Council, just to clarify, the acting chief is also the acting town administrator Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So please try to direct your emergencies to her. Anything further from the council, Mr. Tanzi?
Is she also acting public works?
You'll have to take that up with her. It sounds like she could be.
No, acting public works is still here.
Oh, as Mr. Cardenas.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing that we've concluded item 18 and item 19, I think we're on to 20, which is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Third.
Made by Councilmember Briner and seconded by Councilmember Fry. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes 6-0. Have a good evening.
Bye.